Howdy, folks. It is Diecastbuffet here again. Holy cow, Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch wins Atlanta. It's so cool. You know, the old school tracks won by one of the old school drivers. And it's just, yes, Kurt Busch gets himself in the playoffs. Huge win for him. The Ganassi program, just really cool stuff. Great racing at the end right there when they were duking and diving through the lap down cars there. A little bit of help from Chastain, but you know, Blaney had some help from Logano or whoever his teammate was at the earlier Atlanta race when Larson got past with 10 to go. But Kurt Busch gets it done. Awesome looking paint scheme there, the Garant Chevrolet Camaro. I have no clue if they're going to make a race win 124 for that because they haven't been making the monster cars for it. I imagine they're going to make the Atlanta race win without the Monster Energy logo. So if that is the case, make sure to stay tuned to Circle B Diecast and play the sales for the race win diecast. I don't know if they're going to be. I doubt they're making a 164 for it. They might make a T-shirt for it. Either way, use the promo code Diecastbuffet over there, and any order $20 or more, you'll get free shipping. So let's talk about the race here, fellas. This was an interesting one. It was. You had the track pieces coming up, which is like. It's par for the course when it comes to these old tracks. You know, I remember back, was it 2010 or 2011 when Pocono was tearing up. Of course, Daytona, Dover, the Dover one that happened with McMurray, that happened like 2015, 2016, and they still race that same surface. So, I enjoyed it. You know, it's sad to think they're reconfiguring Atlanta Motor Speedway. I have no problem with them repaving it because back in yesteryear, Atlanta was pretty much like the Michigan International Speedway of the Southeast. I mean, these cats in a Gen 4 stock car were turning 205, diving in the corners, man. It was incredible. I still don't think they should reconfigure it. That's just me. I agree with the drivers on it. Two-lane racing. They're trying to make a mini Daytona Talladega out of it. It's not going to work. But I would just put a slick top on it. I would even market the commercials for the tickets for it. I would say, look, it's going to be one of the fastest races all year long. You know, jack up the horsepower, lower that downforce. You'll have a great show, I promise you. So that's unfortunate to see one of my favorite tracks. Atlanta Motor Speedway is one of my favorite tracks. It really is. It's like Old Texas Motor Speedway or Old Charlotte Motor Speedway before the Roval. I love those tracks in my opinion. But the racing quality, it was a little hard to pass, but it was better than I expected in terms of passing, though. Clean Air was dominant. You know, you've seen how quickly Chase Elliott. I mean, I'll just say this. Chase Elliott jumped the start of the race probably by 3 car lengths, or either everyone else laid a duck or an egg right there on the line, and then Chase Elliott jumped out in front. But as soon as he got that Clean Air, he was good. And as soon as he got past, he was no good. So that just showed you how dominant Clean Air was. One of my favorite moments of the race, though, was that like right at the halfway point when you had guys like Ryan Preece, Eric Almirola. They were kind of trying to stay out, catch the rain. I love that gamble. Some people might have said, oh, they just threw it away. I would have went for it. You know, you're not going to win the race doing what everyone else does. You have to be contrarian sometimes, and I really like that strategy there. So swimming upstream a little bit for some of the mid-pack cars there. It didn't pan out. I was really hoping it would, though, honestly. I was hoping Ryan Preece would get around Almirola would sneak out of here with a win. I think that would have been a really cool headline, especially with this probably being his final season with SHR. But, hey, man, Kurt Busch winning's real cool. I'm a big Kurt Busch fan. I have no clue where he's going. I'm assuming it's going to be 23-11. You know, when there's smoke, there's fire. That's kind of how the NASCAR rumors go. I'm assuming he's going to be driving a Camry next year, which is going to be bittersweet because I see him as a Ford guy, a Dodge guy, and a Chevy guy. So him driving a Toyota in the Cup Series is going to be a little interesting if that holds true. But Ganassi, man, they get most likely their final win of their team's existence. It's going to be sad. It's going to be sad. But I had no idea or expected Kurt Busch to win this season. When he won Las Vegas last year, I was like, that's it. That is his final win. It's perfect. He won it in his home track. Of course, there was no fans there, which is unfortunate, but I did not expect him to win another Cup race. So the fact that Kurt Busch wants to race next year and that he won this year, granted, it's a little past halfway, that is really cool. So I like seeing that one car up front. But finally, man, they pull through. There was a portion of the season where they couldn't. The only luck, they would have no luck at all if it wasn't for bad luck. I mean, they just, everything was just going bad for them. You know, it's like the power goes out, the milk's gone bad, everything's breaking. That's pretty much the one car's team. They could not get consistency, but hey, a win changes it all. Hendrick was nowhere near as dominant here as they were back in the springtime, and I think most people picked Kyle Larson to win this race, and I was thinking about that, but it's just too obvious. It's too obvious. You know, it's like, okay, I know Truex is super good at Martinsville, but that doesn't mean I need to pick him for it, you know? Of course, Truex wins Martinsville, but that's besides the point. Larson, just the wheels kind of fell off the wagon today. The speeding penalty, which that's a whole other topic for another day, but I just can't understand why these drivers, they push the limit on a green flag pit stop for 1/10 of a second. If you go 1/10 of a second over, or whatever, a fraction of a miles per hour over that timing loop, your entire race is thrown in a blender and it's done. I just cannot understand why the drivers push so hard for a fraction, just a fraction of speed. Kyle Larson could have had a top 5 run there, but instead they throw it away. I get it, you got to go for it. You don't want to lose any time. The risk is not worth the reward. It's kind of like Clint Boyer's coined saying earlier this year. You know, the juice is not worth the squeeze. I've seen Denny Hamlin do this for years, where he'll get on pit road, he has a great car, and then he speeds on pit road. It's stupid. I can understand if it's the final pit stop of the race, but when it's mid-pack, you have absolutely nothing to gain by just pushing it that little bit extra. I'd rather be conservative on pit road, get your crap, get back on the racetrack, and be in contention. Don't beat yourself. I think the 5 team did that today. Moving forward, though, New Hampshire is going to be coming up next. From what I hear, it's going to be the high horsepower, low downforce package. So, yes. Hopefully, we get some beating and banging out there, because New Hampshire, the last few years, in my opinion, has not really been that good of a race. So, I'm hoping we'll get some action. I think with Harvick and Hamlin not being so dominant, it's kind of a, I would say, an open ballpark, so to speak, of who's going to be really consistent there. Could we see a William Byron show up? Could we see, I don't know, Blaney? I don't know. Keselowski's probably going to be the favorite there. But I would love to see someone come out of the ballpark and just win it, you know, just maybe Kurt Busch. Who knows? What do y'all think? Make sure to comment down below. I'm going to miss the old Atlanta. I'm going to miss it. Every time I think of this configuration, I think of 2002, Tony Stewart winning. I just love the old Atlanta configuration. Just repave it. Don't reconfigure it. Listen to the drivers. That's what they know better than anyone. They want good racing. And I'll even add another thing to it. If they're saying, okay, making the track extremely fast, X, Y, and Z, keeping it the same is not going to help them sell tickets. I've said this for a while now. I wish one of these racetracks would repave, right? They repave the track, but come up with a texture for the asphalt that can actually wear tires much more faster, you know, expedite the tire wear, but not break apart, you know. I don't know if they could put some type of gradient to it, maybe some type of crushed rock, something to that asphalt texture that would give it that old school, you know, Rockingham, Darlington, and Atlanta tire wear, but have like the track strength, like the actual asphalt pieces, like a Charlotte Motor Speedway, where the thing's just not falling apart. I think that is something they need to look forward to, or look into, is finding ways to artificially age the asphalt, but keep the structural integrity into it. Because if you could repave a track and have it sit there for 20 years, and it not fall apart, and have the tire wear right off the bat that you had before you paved it, that right there would be a win-win, I think, for everyone. Fans, the track, and of course the driver. So, I'll leave y'all with that. Thank y'all so much for watching the video. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. Diecastbuffet, signing off.